This is Hello Kopi Podcast, episode 52, with Ion Ray and also Irfan the Ass Guy. Remember, guys, speak soft and harder because the messages are in the podcast. Yo, boy, motherfuckers heading out, and don't forget to listen all the way to the end because the gems are in the pudding. No fear, guys, go for it. Believe in yourself, put in the work, and watch your life turn into some magical truth and shit. Bro, thanks for listening.
Right, this is Hello Kopi Podcast. Today we have two fine gentlemen over here.
What up?
What's up?
Soon to be legends, man.
Okay.
Inshallah.
If you guys don't mind, introduce yourself to the audience who are listening who don't really know who you are.
Okay, my name is Ion, and I am a musician slash director slash artist, inventor, person, and Kicks is my company. We're in our studio right now, and we make a lot of weird shit.
Unique shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself, bro?
Okay, my name is Irfan. Some people call me Ice Guy. Some people know me as Ninjaboi. And yeah, I'm a producer, singer, songwriter, audio engineer. Yeah,
Everything.
everything audio, I guess.
Everything audio,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's my thing.
So how young are you guys? How long have you guys been on planet Earth?
What? Pardon?
How long have you guys been on planet Earth? Planet Earth.
I'm 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. I'm 25
And I'm
years
older than this cat. I'm OG cat. But I've been an alien for my whole life.
So the common thing, I guess, for the both of you guys are both audio junkies, I would say. Right. How would you describe your music?
Ooh, you start first, I think.
Yeah.
I guess my music has to be interesting and sonically interesting, and I guess very easy listening, but still interesting.
Right.
You know, yeah, something very catchy, but still like, whoa, that's different. Yeah.
Okay. How do you guys get started with music? Like, like with yourself, like I think you are a DJ. Would you consider yourself a DJ?
Yeah, I think I started as a DJ. I think you did too, right?
Yeah,
I started
yeah.
as a DJ in New York, and I would just play things. When I started, I think when I was 15,
Damn.
and I would play music from CDs, 2 CD players, at my friends' parties and shit. And then from there, I went to school, to uni, and then I was making like bedroom music with a computer. And then I got a job at a studio, sound studio, like a movie studio. And then I basically made no money. I made like absolute shit. But then I could use the studio anytime I wanted.
Right.
And that's what I did. So then I used it.
You guys made it sound so easy though, right? Is like audio or being a DJ easy? Is that like a thing that anyone can get started on?
Well, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of like you go into it, but you don't realize how far you've come until you reflect on it. It's just, yeah, like audio's a journey, man. Like that's how I view it. Yeah.
And I think like with anything, you know what you want to do. Like you know what kind of DJs you like. You know if you want to be like, oh, I want to play music like this. But then when you try, you suck at it. And then the first time you play, you can't mix anything. You pick the wrong song, everyone leaves. But then eventually you're like, oh yeah, this is a good track. Or this is how I mix this into that track. But it's just practice, like a million. And most people give up.
Most
That's
people
the thing.
give up. Yeah.
Everybody gives
And
up.
the most common question people would ask, like for beginners, they usually ask like, what DAW do you use, right? Does that even matter?
Oh.
Like what digital audio
Not really.
workstation you
Not
use?
really. Yeah.
I mean, see, I used Pro Tools from the studio I worked in, and then he was working on Ableton, but we both done, like I worked on Ableton a little bit, but we make similar, like, it's similar shit, but it's like the ideas you have going into it.
Right.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different beast though.
Yeah, it's just, I guess a DAW is just like, if it depends on your workflow.
Right.
So each DAW has a specific workflow, but more or less it's the same. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's about ideas. Like the same thing. Like if you have ideas, and you don't keep working on them. Like say you just have an idea, like I want to use this sound effect as a beat or as a song, and then you try it and it sucks the first time because it's not going to be good the first time. And then you give up, then you didn't make anything. But it's like doing it once, then doing it again. Like people are like, oh, it took 5 minutes to make it. Like good songs come out and good ideas come out in 5 minutes, but then to make them perfect takes like days and days and days. Most people just do the first thing and then they're like, oh, it's done.
Right. Okay. I get you. I mean, it's like it takes
done.
time. You gotta work on it over and over again before it's like becomes sort of like masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
And then okay, so from getting your music started to actually performing the first time in front of a crowd, do you guys remember that first day?
Shit. I don't. Do you?
You don't?
I don't remember the first time I DJed. Do you?
So like when I started out in school. So me and my homies, we used to like have this thing, this DJ group thing. So I was the guy who made production. Like I was the guy on. Back then I used Fruity Loops. Shout out Fruity Loop.
Fruity Loops.
FL Studio. Bro.
Cool.
Yeah. So like we used to. I used to make beats, and back then it was the electro house era, which was like bloody beetroots and all this like very like punky kind of electronic sound. Electro Clash. Yeah. And it was just like we did this the first time I ever played it like out loud because it was, I think this was back in like 2010. This was like when I was 16.
Damn.
So it was like a house party.
Right.
It was like in Subang, SS15. It was like, you know where Starbucks is in Subang?
Yeah, the next to Inti College, McDonald's.
Yes,
and all that,
exactly that one. So on top, where Gold Sounds Academy is now,
Right.
used to be a clothing shop called MNEP.
Wow.
So like it had a nice party. People used to rent out that space for parties. So we were like, like one of our friends were like, yo, let's do a party. And we were like, shit, okay, what, for real? Like, do a party.
Yeah.
So we did that. And like, yeah, man, like I played some of the tracks and that was my first time ever using a CDJ because before that I never had a CDJ. CDJ is expensive. So I used to use like virtual DJ and like, those crappy ass computer softwares. And I had like a shitty ass controller that I made from this thing called a nano control. So it's like it didn't have any jogs or anything. It's just play, pause, next, and you can just jog it for a bit.
Yeah.
So they couldn't connect the setup to the speakers because I didn't have a sound card. So I had to use the CDJ. So like, oh shit, like how do we do this? And
You made it work.
And I made it work, but it was all over the place. But we were all like, 16, 17?
Yeah.
So
So you got started with a bunch of friends, right?
yes, I did, yeah.
I mean, same as
Shout
mine
out
also.
Disco Monkeys.
I mean, same as mine also. And then I was thinking about DJing. One thing about DJing is like, people are obsessed with like, oh, I don't know how to DJ. I don't know how to like mix songs and shit. But like, the big thing about DJing is playing the right songs. Like reading the crowd. What do they want to hear? Like, what kind of vibe do they want? And then, like, once you play the right track, then the place goes crazy. And they might forget that you messed up the intro. Like,
Right.
you came in off beat, but then the song comes in. Oh,
Yeah.
Like, my goal as a DJ always is to have somebody that night, to fill the dance floor, not just play music, but then also for I have someone during the night go, oh my God, that's my song. And then they're sitting down, they turn around and they bring their friends up and they dance to it.
That's your goal.
That's my goal every
Right.
time.
And then also, because I asked earlier, like, how would you describe your music, right?
Yeah.
What about you though? Like,
I
how would you
mean-
describe your style?
I mean, I do a lot of different stuff, but I'd say in terms of like DJ stuff, I love, I try to play music that makes people feel sexy and powerful.
Damn.
Like, I'll never play, like, I love Spice Girls, but I'll never play it. Like, I just won't play it because it's cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't play any, like, cheesy music. Like, I don't really do like sing along music. I know it's huge here. Like,
But you kind of have to, like, as a DJ here,
Yeah.
in like when you play at parties, you kind of have to do that, like
Right.
1 or 2 songs, you know.
but I'll play like a Beyonce song that I actually like. Like
Yeah.
I'll play songs that I actually like. Like,
Yeah.
I won't play songs that like the newest Ariana Grande song. Like I just won't play it. But I'll play something like that they'll like that's similar, or like a remix of something that's similar. But like because I love pop. I love pop music and other stuff.
Yeah.
But I want people to feel sexy whenever I'm playing like and like powerful like badass. Like
Okay.
that's what I always want to play.
Yeah. Because you're originally from the States, like New York, right?
Yeah.
And you call yourself a musician back then.
Yeah.
When you say you're a musician, does that mean like you're doing it full time, producing your own stuff,
Yeah.
or does that mean like you're performing other people's track?
Yeah, so
How you label
I was when I was in uni, we started a band,
Right.
and we had a band, and we was like an avant-garde electronic band, super weird. Like we had an actress in it, we had like drummer and electronics and everything. It was really crazy, and so from that, I got into making music all the time. But I still worked at the sound studio, and then after a while, I was doing movie scores in New York, and then basically I did a movie called Jesus Camp, which is like it was like a documentary. I did the music and the sound for it, and it was just like people we knew, and it was dope. And then that thing blew up, and it actually got nominated for an Oscar.
God damn.
It was crazy,
This is something
crazy time, and it changed my life.
You did.
I forgot how old I was. I was like 20 something.
How did it change your life? Like recognition wise or paid wise?
Well, imagine you're a DJ, and then like you get nominated, like you get on like top 100 DJs.
I guess opportunities wise.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
Our phone rang nonstop for
Damn.
5 years. Yeah.
Wow.
We just kept working. We didn't have to ask anyone. We just got work for straight for 5 years. It was crazy. Yeah.
And then what made you move to Malaysia?
My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
What up, girl? And she's amazing. And yeah.
Okay.
She's amazing. But yeah, she got a job here, and I was looking to leave New York for a while.
You're looking for like another
I want to
environment.
just do something else.
Because I can't imagine that someone from the States like heard of Malaysia, you know what I mean? Like, let's go to Malaysia, you know, like out of nowhere.
Real
right?
talk, never heard of it. Yeah. Never heard of it. But now I love it. Like, because, why would you hear of it?
Yeah.
At least back then, also, there was no international artists from there that crossed over. There was just like the Twin Towers and like Satay.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
But then when I researched it, I was like the fact of English being one of the first languages that everyone's speaking, huge thing for me. And then also just like that it was like super modern, like at least KL. Outside Kampong is different, but like here it was like really modern and shit was happening. And like I've been here almost 10 years now, and it's like a lot has changed. Like,
yeah, man.
It's a totally different place. Like the internet wasn't really there was no 4G. There was like Streamix, like the Wi-Fi shit.
Yeah.
Like you
Dial up,
you
right?
couldn't load a video. Like you couldn't really watch a whole video. Like it would load. Like, you know what I mean?
You sort of have to go backwards, right? Because back then the States had everything, Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
ongoing.
basically,
Yeah. Cool, man. What about you, Irfan? Like, what do you prefer me to call you? Irfan, Ice Sky, or Ninjaboi?
Just Irfan.
Irfan, yeah,
Irfan's
man.
dope, yeah.
Like, how do you first gain confidence? So obviously you make music, and then you got through the first gig, and like, how do you actually like? Okay, I'm gonna do this full time. Was it your parents, your friends, or because like, with youngsters nowadays, with music, we are very we have like confidence issue. Like you can't. I make music, but no, it's not for everyone to listen. that kind of thing.
Yeah.
People go through that and then they surpass that and then they get to another level. So it's like it's a climb for the confidence, sort of like a musician's journey.
Yeah.
How was yours like?
I mean, I still get nervous when I get on stage sometimes. Like, I mean, if I haven't played in a while, I'll go on stage and I'll be like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, like I still get goosebumps every time. Like, but funny thing is, my parents were totally against me doing music.
Against?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, my mom came from like a very sciencey background.
Right.
And it took her a while to kind of like, okay, you're actually doing this. You're not just like in the whole nightlife thing, Like,
what was the point when she did that?
When I stopped asking her for money. And like, I was just surviving by myself. And she was like, okay, you're actually, making a living out of this and not just like in it for whatever the general public views DJs as or musicians as, you know. And I guess it's just doing it and perfecting your craft until you're confident enough to go out there and just be like, this is me. Yeah, and that's something that there's no easy way to do it. It's just working, putting in the hours and just like, this is where it's going, this is where it's going. But you don't necessarily know the point of like completion. It's just a continuous journey, but that confidence builds up over time, and you kind of know what you're doing over time by not knowing what you're doing, but eventually you're like, okay, this is I know how to do this.
Yeah, and you also got to take the risk. Like, that's not a normal, especially here, being an artist is not a normal job. It's not a normal job, so everyone's against it already from the beginning. Yeah, like your parents, your friends, like, oh, you gonna be a DJ, huh? Like, so, but I think that like if you put in the time, it's well worth it. Because like you'd much rather be doing what you're doing, making music, than being at an office.
Of course, definitely.
Me too. Like, I would never change it, even though it's harder. Honestly, it's way harder than being in an office and someone telling you what to do. Yeah, like way harder. And that's what we're gonna talk about too, is like making money, like money in art. Because once you switch from weekend DJ, like in the beginning, homie was just and me too, like you're a uni student, you do whatever job, but then on the side you make music. But then when you switch to doing music or art or whatever full time, totally changes.
Yeah, there's a fine line between passion and making it work as a career, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I actually I've done a little bit of research on you, Irfan. Like you started with Naufal, right?
Yeah, Naufal Anwa.
So that whole gig, and then after that, you gain your own recognition with you started Crazy Sound, if I'm not wrong, or is that a collaboration with other people?
It was a collective.
Oh, collective.
So, yeah, I joined it back in 2013.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a collective based in Ipoh, but everyone that we met in Cyberjaya. So we were all like just students in Cyberjaya, like experimenting on
sounds.
Yeah, we're just like-minded people who make this kind of music, and it was so natural. Yeah, and we're still doing it to this day.
And then the big question is, you cross over to becoming a rapper, right? Yeah. And then with the stage name Ninjaboi Boycott or Boycott?
Ninjaboi, like, you know how people say code?
That's what I thought, man.
Yeah, it's just like cause I was never sure of it. Like Ninjaboi came out because of Crazy Sounds, because we used to do this thing where we all sit in a circle and do things and and freestyle.
Get inspired.
Get inspired and freestyle. And like we kind of got into the habit, and they were like, one day I was just like, yo, okay, I just secretly made a beat, and the beat felt very empty. And I was like, yo, okay, I'm gonna try write something on it. I mean, like, I always had I wanted to write, but I never had like, oh, maybe I can write. But I never had that. But then like that day I was just like, okay, let's just make a song. Right. And it was not a rap hip hop song. It was a EDM song. With like, it had a drop and everything, but it's just that middle part that was so empty. I was just like, okay, let's just put a rap there. Let's just like write something there. And and I showed it to the boys, and they were like, don't stop. And I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing it.
And do something about it, right?
It then it became something. But I never like saw myself as a rapper. I didn't like wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to be a rapper. It was not like that. It was more of like it happened just like that, like over time.
And then you made it as well. You made it official. You got in 16 Baris.
So shout outs to Joe Flizzo.
Yeah, man.
Known in the rap game.
Well, I mean, it's a platform, but doesn't necessarily mean that if you're in 16 Baris, you've made it.
Not really?
No, because I feel like it's just a platform.
It's a starting point.
It's a starting point, or it could be like, like there's so many other dope other rappers in KL that have more songs out there and are doing it more than people that are on 16 Baris, and they weren't on 16 Baris. Maybe, I don't know why. Maybe it's just, how do you say it? Like, how do you say, what's the word for it? Like, likability
Oh.
or like it's just exposure. They were not exposed, but like to me, being on 16 Baris doesn't mean you've made it. It's just like it's like how we're talking right now on this show. It's just like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
But it's
okay,
just
I
a
feel you, I
showcase
feel
of
you.
your like, you rap, and Joe Flizzo thinks you're kind of cool. That's it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Cool, man.
But that's what I was gonna say. Also, is like, I think sometimes or most of the time as an artist, you gotta be fearless and like experiment with stuff. Like, if he was like, "Oh, I'm not a rapper. I don't do that," then he just never would have done that. Never would have happened. You know?
Yeah.
And like if I never took video stuff, I never would have done this company because I never would have tried because I was a musician. Like, oh, I don't make video.
Always
someone else
experiment, try something
Yeah.
new, right?
Yeah, and then also like my whole company started because I made a video at a party, and then edited it at night, and then in the morning I posted it, and then people shared it. That's the only reason why. And then the person who had who was throwing the party was Livescape, was the dudes from Livescape, and it was like their first party, and they were like, oh,
That's how I
shit.
met you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then like just trying it, and then they were like, "Oh, you want to do something?" But like people are always like, "Oh, I don't know, like I don't do that." It's like make something and put it out. And people like with photography, if you're a photographer, don't just plan out ideas. Shoot some shit. You don't have the right camera? Doesn't matter. Shoot it with your iPhone and edit it and play with it. Someone's gonna be like, "I want that. How much is it? How much is it?" Like, and then you start to be like an artist, like a working artist.
Yeah. And okay, let's go to you. Your story for a second. Ayon, you started Kicks, right? And you said it was inspired by that video of yours. I mean, you made that video. You want to start a company, so you got it off and running. And what sort of challenges that you faced? Let's say within the first year of starting We Are Kicks.
I mean, the first year, it was 8 years ago, so it's a long time ago. But I want to say challenges were money.
Money.
I mean, I think we did like music videos for 5,000 ringgit. We did like anything that we could do, just anything. And I also had another job. Like I was a composer, so I was doing that and then doing this side stuff.
Damn.
So it was like both the side. But
How many hours do you have in one day, bro?
It's still a lot. I mean, also I like making stuff. So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it's shooting is fun. It's fun to have ideas and stuff. But I think the biggest challenge was business shit. Like, okay, like how much money do we need to buy a new Mac? How much money do we need to buy a camera? And then once you build all that stuff up and you get a bunch of jobs, it's like, oh, you won. And then it's like there's all these hurdles. And even if you're successful, you have to keep building. Like you can't do all the work. So you're like, okay, should I hire somebody? Should we get someone in? And at first we had an intern. That was the first thing we did. Like, it was just myself and Jessica, my business partner, and then we had an intern. And then from that, start building. But then it's like, okay, now how do you manage an intern? Like, no one fucking knows. There's no guide. There's no guide how to like be head of a company. I mean, there is, but it's like business school and books and stuff. I didn't read any of it. So like, I just made every mistake ever.
Yeah.
every mistake. And then just like, like that's the thing I was talking about before is like business. Once you get into the business realm of art, like you definitely have to be a business person. And you have to make business decisions. Your homie's cool, and he's like, "Oh, shoot my music video. I'll give you $5,000." And you're like, "Cool, all right." And he's like, "Okay, but I can't give it to you for 6 months." And you're like, "Okay." So basically, you just funded their music video, and like that's not cool. And then he's like, "Oh, I want this set. I want this person. Can we rent out this place?" Like, put up the money, but the person as the artist got to be more on point business-wise and be like, "I need 50% up front, and the next 50 comes at this month exactly." And people can hustle, they can do it. People can come up with the money.
Yeah.
But you say, this is how we do it. And like that's the stuff we didn't do at the beginning.
Right. Okay.
I learned it.
Right.
Because people disappeared we did a video, they disappeared, they never paid us.
Damn.
So we lost like however much money. So like that happens all the time. And in Malaysia, like I hear stories all the time. People shit on the artists. Like they take, and then they don't give back for 8 months, a year. It's like, you can't be an artist like that. And that's also why no one wants to be an artist, because the money sucks. But it's not because we didn't make the money, it's because no one gave it to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In comparison to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur specifically to New York or the States, do you think the competition and the stakes are higher there? I mean, obviously from the logic side of things, we would say so, right? But from you personally, like, because there probably you have an upper hand, you know more people, or maybe you have more opportunities because it's bigger and, you know, there's a lot more creatives out there.
I mean, there's like, imagine it's KL but times 15.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like 15 times as big or 10 times as big the city. So like, that's also plus everyone in the world going there. So it's like way, way bigger, way crazier. But that means there's more opportunity, but more people.
More competition as well.
More competition, but also more opportunities.
Right,
so
right,
like,
right.
it's not that much different. I think the big difference is like professionalism. People in New York professional as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you say you're gonna be on time, they're just on time. Like, you say you're gonna do this, they just do it. Like, people don't fuck up. And here people like think it's okay to fuck up and like do stuff. And like, that's one thing that working with Kicks, our company, is like, we're really professional. We're like a international company. Like, we have different standards than normal shit. But I'd say it's different. I mean, I didn't do this there. I never made a video till I came here. I never touched the camera till I came here. So I don't know what it's like.
Are you planning to stay though?
I mean, yeah, I'll always. I mean, this is our company, so
Right.
I think it'll always be running with or without me. So, and I love Malaysia. Like, I always have this is my home also.
Yeah.
So I always like have a spot here.
Right.
But I think half and half. Like, my parents are getting older, and like I might have a nephew who's a little baby. So, like, I want to go back and forth. But I was probably split half and half.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the idea was to have a company there, a company here, and then go back and forth.
Have you started soon?
Sort
soon.
of.
Yeah.
I'm starting a new company soon.
Cool.
And so that's like the new.
That's
new
interesting. It's gonna be a shift, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a different kind of company. So,
Cool.
But once Kicks is rolling full out, then I'm gonna go
Right. Okay.
figure out.
Back to Irfan though. See, this is a tricky one. I'm gonna jump here and there, right?
Do it.
Okay. With what do you think is stopping us Malaysians, right, from crossing over to the other side, like being successful in the States or in the world? Is it a language barrier, or is it that we're trying to be we're westernizing ourselves so much, we're not sticking to our own roots, or perhaps it's just a matter of time, you think? Because like if you see Indonesians, for example, right, to name specifically Rich Brian, the 88 Rising movement.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
Asian, right?
Yeah.
And Malaysian, I don't know, like back in the day, you would have Too Fat. And right now, what do you think? Okay, Yuna went there and ran an apartment or whatever, tried to get herself recognized. And then to her level of success, I guess it's not as big, you know, as exposed as the 88 Rising.
Yeah.
What do you think is stopping us though?
I guess money.
Money.
Like, I guess not everybody has the opportunity to like, I want to go to another country and start off something new. Especially if our currency is lower than another country.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's a huge risk. And it's also like, if you don't have the right, like once you go there, it's a new territory. It's also very scary in my sense. Like, if you don't have the right like bridge to go there, it's kind of like, like let's say you're an aspiring musician and you want to make it out in the States, and by just moving there does not you're not insured to like, okay, I'm gonna have a job or anything. It's kind of scary because you're gonna be giving up what you have here and your security here as a Malaysian in your country, and to start off a new life. If you have a reason to do that, then I think a lot of people would like expand, right? Yeah, but
I was gonna say just two things about the numbers though. People often compare the U.S. and Indo to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Like, New York is 30 million people. It's more than people that are in all of Malaysia.
Yeah.
And Indo is like 200 million.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like, that's not comparable. You can't just compare them to each other. So I think for percentage-wise, it makes sense why there's only one person that crossed over.
Yeah.
Why? It just
Because
makes
we
sense.
have less humans.
Of course, exactly.
Okay.
It's like that simple. And then
But,
also,
yeah.
but then also like, Rich Brian is an anomaly. He's not a normal.
Right.
It's not like Siti Nurhaliza in New York.
No.
It's like he's like a Western. He went to school in wherever, Delaware, whatever. Like he he's like a different kind of cat. Like,
Yeah.
and also like that's the only one
Yeah.
that crossed
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
I mean, there's a few random people here and there, but like in general, I think you can't compare to the U.S. Like, and the U.S. is a different culture. It's like
Yeah.
a totally different fucking culture.
I guess it's culture, because of culture.
Of course, that's a
And-
huge thing too.
Totally different culture.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean I think what I meant is like, okay, for example, there's this guy from Korea like made it super big. What is it, Ijima?
Oh, Keith Ape.
Keith Ape.
Ape,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for him, I guess it's a one-hit wonder, you may say, but then he still made it. He made it happen. Or
Yeah.
K-pop.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's because they have more humans as well, and
Right.
success rates higher.
Yeah, but did they make it like Una does a song with Usher? The song is dope. Song is on TV everywhere in the U.S. everywhere, and it's on the radio. It's like that's the same shit,
Yeah.
and it's like that's one, and there just needs to be more. But it's hard because it's like you're saying, like you want to be like, okay, so say everyone had 100,000 ringgit to make a video. Say everybody. Like Singapore, sometimes they have that. Japan, they have that. People make crazy videos, and then people would see it in other countries. They would, and they would listen to it. But we don't have the kind of money. And also to produce, like people do it in their bedrooms.
Yeah.
Like even the best producers here are doing it in their bedrooms and doing it. There's no big studios. There's no like super mixer dude. Like
So I guess that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like the studio, the hardware, all those stuff makes a
Yeah.
lot of difference.
absolutely.
Yeah?
I guess like in Malaysia, the professional world and the indie world is very disconnected.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
disconnected. Yeah.
Mm.
Like there's no bridge to like, let's say if you're a bedroom producer and you want to expand yourself to becoming a professional, it's either you learn it by yourself or you have a mentor. And that's really hard to find a mentor and like to kind of go into the professional world unless you're like you went to college, went to art school or something, and like okay, this is how professional artists work. That's one in a million. Like what if you're just a normal guy who makes who discovers his passion in music but studied like engineering or something and wanted to take music to a professional level and expand themselves. It's really hard to bridge that to the
Right.
professional world.
Yeah.
Then not a lot of platforms do that. Yeah.
But let's talk about success. Also, does it mean success? Does that mean being a star in the U.S.? Is that what it means? Because like that all around the world, that's not what happens. Like people have huge careers here, huge careers in Indo, huge careers in Singapore, and they never even been in the U.S. It doesn't matter. Like that shit doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Like it doesn't. I mean, that is one kind of success.
Okay.
But like I think for me as an artist, like if you can make amazing work, be proud of it, and people like it, doesn't matter what you are.
I guess what the US does is like a major distribution to
Of
other
course,
countries,
of
you know,
course.
like
Yeah.
probably the whole planet Earth, right?
Everyone's watching the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And England and some other places, but also in the U.S., there's people you guys have never heard of because
Yeah.
they're just local. They don't make it out either. They're out of the U.S. Like they're in the U.S., it's just regional, and they never make it out. Like there's New York rappers no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
They just never heard of them, and they're super famous in New York, but no one knows them. So it's like the same kind of idea. It's like they're just local. They did their shit. But I don't know, that idea of success is interesting. Like I used to want to be like a rock star worldwide, like whatever. And then I was like, is that the goal or is making good work the goal? And it takes a while to like, and like we had a lot of success like with Kicks and like with my old company, and like that's like a big deal, you know, like rethinking what success is. You know, because people get into music for the wrong reasons also all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever the wrong reasons are, but like definitely women and
fame.
attention and fame
Yeah.
and just people like, oh my God, you're like you love that shit. But once
Yeah.
that wears off, what are you doing? Like
Right.
what else?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What else is
yeah,
there?
That's true. Like when I started DJing, I was asked this question. So why do you want to DJ, bro? Like one of these like older DJ dudes, and then he gave me like 3 choices. It was like, you want money, women, or fame? And I was like, why can't I just do it because I like DJing?
You're such a sweet cat, dude.
Yeah.
I would have been like all of them.
All of them.
All of them, everything. And plus, I love
And
the
plus,
music.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's different. I didn't think like the thing about art also is that people get into stuff for weird reasons,
Yeah.
but then it becomes real, and then you gotta love what you're doing because it's 800 hours. Like, homie will be working on one song nonstop for 15 hours.
Yours.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yours.
And then like for us too, like making whatever we do seems like sort of effortless, whatever Kicks is doing, like weird concepts, weird whatever. But what we do is super hard. Super hard. We're there's 1,000 people, everyone's crazy, and we're asking someone to stand still and pose in the middle of thousands of people, and then the next person, and then the next person, just for one 3-second shot.
Yeah.
And it's like so much effort, so much attention, and if you don't care, you just don't do it.
Like for yourself, Ayon, like I witnessed you, I mean, direct, I don't know, what do you call it, a music video? Is it a music video? No, it's not. It's like a television show, MTV Raps, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, your energy though, where do you get it from, man? Like,
I
mean, I'm sure people have been
excited.
people have been asking you the same question over again,
I'm
over
crazy
again,
as
right?
fuck.
But how do you maintain the level of energy? Is that like a secret energy bar?
Crack. No. I think in general, when I'm on set, for me it's fun. Like directing stuff is so fun. It's like performing. It's like in the studio is work. It's fucking work when we're here. But when I'm on set and people like, especially because those things were like, I don't know which one you saw, the street one. Did you see that one?
No, in the studio.
Oh, in the studio.
The night one and also the daytime ones. The cipher, the night. There's a music video going on.
Okay,
at night.
so two things about MTV Raps. One is that the music video things that we shot were all like live music videos. They're like live performance, and I want to do something different. And I wanted to, and what we did is we sketched it out. We went there. We always rehearse what we do. We shot everything with us as stand-ins, and I was like, this is gonna be cool. And we had like 40 extras. Like it's the biggest thing like I've done like that ever. So I was just excited to see it happen. I'm like, oh. And once I see it on the camera, I'm like, oh my God, this is cool. Like the first second, I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, okay, we got it, but this is one thing, one change, and I get excited to do it. And then the thing about the cypher was cool was like, I started making the beats. He came over and we vibed on making the beats, and then
You made the beat.
Yeah,
We made it together.
Yeah,
Whoa.
right up there.
Whoa!
there.
High five to that,
Yeah.
guys! Wow, shit.
So that's why it was so cool.
It's a big
'cause-
deal, bro.
Yeah, that's why it's so cool. Because like when I heard it the first time played loud, and all the rappers they had been practicing, and the first time they did it, I was like, oh God, so cool. Because we had just heard it. You know, we just played 100 times, listened to it,
and then made our own
yeah,
flows.
Yeah, that's the thing is we would just like practice flow over the top of it. But then when I heard it, I was just excited because I'm like, this is really happening. And then that for me, MTV Raps is all about the cipher. Like, because that's what I was thinking about recently is like, with 16 Barists, like that's their own format. And people are like, oh, it's like a cipher show, you know, it's cool. And like, yeah, but what we did is completely different. It's like over the top nuts, which is like my thing, like extra drama, extra sauce, extra chili. Like, it's like live musicians, crowd, darkness. You know, like what Joe does, which is so dope, is like about the pure verse. Ours is not about that at all. It's like extra as fuck.
Yeah.
Like hype, people are jumping around, people are doing stuff.
Yeah,
music on
you
top.
can almost feel the energy by just
Yeah.
looking at it, right? Just
Totally.
watching the videos.
Yeah, but in general, I just get excited to see ideas actually come out. And like the first time I see them come out, like I think if you're into making stuff, like if you're a director, if you're whatever, the first time you actually see it in real life, it's so cool. It's just so cool.
Yeah, man, it's like seeing your baby exist, right?
So cool. And we make a lot of stuff at our studio, so like we're always seeing that process. So I love it. Like, I just love it. I just love that experiment. It's all these experimental ideas, and then they come out, and then that's the thing as the director. What you got to do is immediately something's not right. There's like people are doing some weird dance in the background. You're like, that's not right. And the thing about I think as being a director, like the number one thing is making decisions right away. You don't question them. Be like, okay, can we move these people in the other thing? You have no, I'm like no chill, like no, I have no like, oh, no heart, like I don't care if someone's that wants to be in the video. If they don't fit, I'm like, oh, hey, can you come over this side? Just do it, because it's not their video, it's my video.
Yeah.
And like, and then
There's no time to feel offended or anything.
yeah,
right?
and also huge decisions. Oh, this person's supposed to be walk past this car. Okay, they should go up in the car. I'm just gonna say it. You should do it.
Yeah.
How do we make that work? And then just do it. And
So
then
it's like
immediate
eight
decision.
years now, Kicks?
Yeah, 8 years.
Wow. How many people have you hired so far, man? Like in total?
I don't know.
Come and go. 25,
I
30?
guess so. Something like that.
What do you look for when you're hiring someone, man?
One thing is we don't care if people are good at After Effects, good at Photoshop, good at Premiere. It's like, do they have a good eye at what is good and what is not good? You know, and also are they willing to work their ass off? Like, we work so hard. We're always sweaty. We're always doing stuff. We never stop. And like that's the thing. If people are down for those two things and ready to learn, then we're good.
Yeah, it's all about the drive to learn, to better yourself, right?
Yeah, and we want people to also have other stuff going on. Like most of the people that work with us are musicians or artists or other stuff, and then they have their own shit.
They have their own passion,
Yeah, and they just
project
do
and
it.
stuff. Yeah.
So that's like the main thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself like in 5 years? Like kicks. Where do you see it going direction wise? Like films, or
I don't know.
You have no idea. You
I
just
mean,
go with the ride.
we did a film. We did this Lalo film, which was cool, a short
Right.
film, which is really weird. I think in general, I love making physical stuff. I love making like events and physical installation stuff. Like there's this thing in New York that happened, which is like a rain room that happened at this museum where it's raining inside, and then you never get wet because it knows where you are, and you never get wet no matter where you go. And then just stuff like that that's like conceptual and strange, and then interactive, because I think the new revolution, everyone looks at their phone and everything on the phone is equal. You get a WhatsApp from someone, you get a Facebook message, you get an Instagram DM. It's all the same. Then you just scroll past content.
Right,
That's
right.
cool, but physical experiences are like golden. They're impossible to replicate on a phone and in video. Impossible. So I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
Do
like-
stuff like that.
Theatrical, right? More
Yeah,
realistic.
just much more interactive.
Installation.
Installation stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Where people can interact, because then that's what I really get off on, is when seeing people interact with me, like real shit.
Okay, before I go into like the business side of being a creative in Malaysia, right, I want to go touch a little bit about hip hop. Right, you are in obviously tried rapping, get into the hip hop, made beats and all that. Where do you think Malaysia's hip hop scene is going, or what's the best way to grow it? Because like if you see what's coming out from the Borneo, it's a lot of like gangster rap, like diss each other kind of thing. I'm gonna kill you. I'm about like gangster, and like one thing pops up, like someone will just replicate the same thing. It's like something works, people copy, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think it's going though? Is it a making circle going nowhere, or do you think we are improving ourselves into getting into something? Like we're seeing something
I
coming.
guess hip hop has always been around in Malaysia as a mass culture ever since Too Fat, because they put hip hop out in the mainstream to, like, I had a talk with my Indonesian friends. This guy rapper, he's called Lays.
Lays 92.
Yes.
Yeah, he was featured on your episode.
Yeah.
Cool man.
Yeah, like we were talking about, like he was talking about like how Malaysians have it. Malaysian rappers or hip hop people that are in hip hop have it easier in Malaysia because it's already accepted as a mass culture thing. Like it's pop already in Malaysia since like Too Fat days. So even like your nene or your atuk would know. They know what rap is. They'll know that shit because it's already in pop. But like in Indonesia, it's totally different. Like, the OGs, the cats that actually started it off, they're not as recognized. Like people don't even know it exists in Indonesia, and like it's where it's heading now is basically, I feel like pop music is a cycle. Like something that's popular would not remain popular for a very long time. It would cycle. It would, like, let's say the next thing could be bands, or then you go back to electronic music. It's always a cycle. Of
Grunge is coming back, huh?
No, yeah, like
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a lot more live stuff are coming back. People that are playing bands, like Midnight Music's dope. Yeah, like I really like that stuff. And yeah, man, like in sense of like how hip hop is heading, it's very much it's healthy. It's good for the hip hop community and the scene, but with anything that is healthy, there's also the negative side, which is gangster rap and all that stuff. But I mean, that's just diversity and that's just variation inside the culture itself. It evolves by itself, and it will continue evolving. And it's just gonna get even more bigger. People are gonna get more people are gonna get into it, and yeah, it's maybe one day it'll die out. But it's for now, it's going at a really good pace. Yeah.
And I was gonna say there's two reasons why Yo MTV Raps got shot here. One reason, practically, is that it's cheaper to shoot here than other places. But the second one was that there's a huge, like, it's already built.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many rappers. You can easily, like I told them, oh, if someone doesn't show up, I can call someone in 20 minutes and have them over there.
Yeah.
And they'll just make a rhyme on the spot and do it.
Yeah.
Like, 16 bars happen, like, MTV Raps happen. There's other, like, cypher shows that are happening. There's a lot of stuff happening. And then just people are making stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I hung out in Singapore a lot, and, like, Young Raja and Farz Jabba killing it with what they're doing there. But it's not like here. Like, there's a lot of established rappers. Like, Aman Ra wasn't even on the show. I wanted him on the show. He's nasty. He's one of my favorite, like, Malaysian rappers. He just murders it. He just kills it nonstop. And, like, there's people, like, there's other rappers that are just killing it nonstop. And I think that's, like, that doesn't happen in every country. And that's special about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only a matter of time until that happens on a bigger scale. I mean, Sona's my homie forever. And, like, just as a producer, as a rapper, like, just been killing it forever. And
Yeah.
like, they're just doing it.
Yeah, they're just doing it, yeah. The reason why it's alive is because they don't stop. Like, all these known names in hip-hop that started off in Malaysia, they just don't stop. They just keep doing it. And that's why it's alive. And kids see that and they'll be like, whoa, people are actually turning this into careers and, like, actually making a living out of this. Like, I want to be that dude. I want to rap too. I want to make beats, you know, like... It's about, yeah.
And, like, I was on the highway and I saw Sona in the Touch and Go app.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's actually a big fucking deal because he's there because he's famous. And what is he famous for? Hip hop. That's all he's famous for. Nothing else. Not an actor, not anything else. That's what he's famous for. And that's a big deal. Like, that's
Hip hop is now accepted.
Yeah.
They put him there because people know him because that sells their shit. That means money talks and, like, hip hop is talking, and that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, like you mentioned, like you the movement inspired more people to create beats.
Yeah.
Try to rap.
Yeah.
And all that for beginners, right? For day one, like, oh shit, I'm inspired by Ice Sky. I'm inspired by Ninjaboi. You know, I just want to get started, but what the fuck do I do? You know, apart from YouTubing and apart from learning online on that shit. Like, how do you get started? Like, you don't know anything at all from scratch.
Basically knowing what you want.
Okay.
Like, the direction. Like, set it all from the start. That will make your life way easier.
So what is it? Step one, what, you make a playlist of the shit you want to make?
Yeah, like,
That's cool.
follow and, like, study your direction and kind of, like, mold yourself into that direction. And, yeah, man. And then just put in the hours.
Will you advise that they copy people first to get started, or do you have to, like, come up with your own ideas straight up?
I started off as producing. I used to remake songs.
Me too. I did the same.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, as in, like, like, back in the day, Benny Benassi was popping. Like, I used to take his, I'd just download the MP3 and put it in Fruity Loops and try to remake the beat from scratch. And that's how I started. Yeah. And
because you can remake the exact beats. Like, that kick drum. You just find it.
Yeah.
You have 1,000 kick drums. You can just find it.
Yeah.
But then also the progression of the song. When does the vocals come in? When does the other thing come in? And then just fake everything. Like, just replay
Copy.
everything.
Yeah,
Copy.
yeah.
Because then what I did was also I would take out their thing and then I'd be like, oh, this sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then I would just replay the bass line.
Yeah.
You do a thing and make it my own.
yeah.
But, like, start from that progression. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
those
that's that.
drums.
That's that saying, man. Great artists.
Steal.
Yeah. What's
Good
that?
artist copy.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Great,
Great
artist
artist
steal.
Yeah.
Good artist copy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, as original you want to be, being original is not everything. It might be unrelatable. So.
But that's the first step is knowing how to use.
Yeah.
Just knowing what sounds you want to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
definitely.
then once you get that, then you're off.
Then yeah.
Then, one thing I think everyone should do if you're a producer, number one, I think you can make beats on your phone. I don't think you need a computer. You can make everything on your phone now. So, like, the idea of, like, I can't do it. It's like, okay, well, like, either use your phone or steal another phone and like, use it. But then also, like, one thing I used to do and tell every producer and every artist to do is set goals. Like, okay, so one thing we would do with my music partner back in New York was we would say, okay, we have 10 days. We have to make a new idea every day. doesn't have to be a full song, but it has to be a new idea every day. So, because we were making an album and we were missing a few songs, so we're like, it wasn't right. So we're like, okay, we made 10 songs, 10 ideas in 10 days. So every night, it's just like working out. Like, you have to go, even if you don't want to. And then weird shit came out. Like, just tons of stuff. Some stuff sucks, but then out of that, 10 songs, 10 days. So people are like, oh, you know, maybe next month my album will be finished. Fuck that. Like, make 10 days, every day make a new song. And then at the end of it, you'll have at least one new track where you're like, this is a banger. This is better than everything I made. And just like the thing is like dedication. Like, oh, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Fucking sacrifice. Like, if you're not ready to sacrifice, you can't be an artist. You can't be a good artist because your friends are gonna go and chill. They're gonna go fucking watch the football match. You cannot do that. You cannot. You must finish your work. You have to keep working on this beat. And if you stop, the energy's gone. So you are not like other people. If you want to be great, cannot be like other people. Because everyone's just gonna go and do their bullshit.
Yeah, man.
They're just gonna go to their, like, hang out with their friends, go to mama, smoke cigarettes, do whatever. You need to do stuff. Right. You are not like other people. So just you have to accept that and like actually put in that work.
Yeah. Takes a lot of sacrifice, right? But
priorities.
Yeah, priorities. But if you think about it, right, there's a fine line between sacrificing for your work to going insane and getting your mental health screwed up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. How do you balance that out, man?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel pretty crazy.
I mean, crazy is very subjective.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But I think you have your friends to balance you out and like your girl and whatever. And I think like, but I think honestly, if you're really want to be great, like you're different and you have to sacrifice stuff on a mass scale. That's it. That's just how it goes. You have to accept that your life's going to be different than everybody else's. You're not going to be a normal person. And especially, how about this? You're like a producer. You put out a song. Ideally, people listen to it and they like it. So what happens if 100,000 people download that track or like listen to it on Spotify in 5 days? You're like, holy shit, what do I do now? Like, okay, you have to put up the next one and do the next thing. And unless you just give up and don't want to do it, but like, that's, even in success comes with it a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, the journey is a marathon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's not like a one-time thing, right?
Yeah, and you gotta love it. You gotta love what you're doing. I just think that idea of sacrifice from the jump, like, if you're gonna dive into it and you want to make it work, I think anybody can make anything work. If you want to be the rapper, you want to be whatever, you just gotta put in that time and not give up. Like, I think that's what I'm saying. Most people give up. They don't want to sacrifice.
Okay, that's step one, right? Finding that out and then getting started. And then how do you actually improve yourself? Like, do you have to collaborate straight away? Like, find people, find mentors, and then differentiating what's passion and how do you make a living out of it, which is the main topic that will be the biggest concern for creatives nowadays. Yeah. What do you guys suggest? Like, go perform straight away? You suck, but who cares? Just perform, you know? Is that like a...
You're fucking terrible, but you play anyway.
Yeah. Is that how you break through? Because different people have different journey. Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
Like people like, for example, K-Click, right? They make a video, boom, the whole Malaysia knows them, and then they have like card, they have like everything prepared. They just perform. Everyone knows their lyrics. You know, it's like they don't have that. People don't know whether they suck or they're good because they already have everything ready. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But if you're not there yet, what do? You know, what's the recipe? I guess.
Well, I'm still trying to make it, so I don't really know. Like, I guess it's just being sure that you want to do it. Yeah. And sticking to it. No matter, like, because what's good to you might not be good to other people. So as long as you make yourself happy first, and then everything will fall into place. But it doesn't necessarily come overnight or like within a month, or, you know, there's no like time span. It's just more of like...
Yeah, some people have that right off. The first thing they do is huge, and then other people it takes like
years.
And 5 years, 6 years, and then people are like, oh my God, I never heard of this person. It's overnight. But it's like, no, 6 years they've been working. Yeah. But I think collaboration, I mean, that's one thing is we've known each other for a long time, forever, just DJing wise. Like, and I'll be when he's DJing and shit. And like, I think collaborating, like, I learned so much. Like, I've been producing forever, but then I learned so much from Aska in terms of like how he uses the program, like totally different. How he makes beats, how he thinks of stuff, totally different than I did. And then we were working inside Pro Tools, inside what I do, my world. So then I taught him stuff in terms of Pro Tools, and then yeah, it was just dope. And then just our working like vibe was just so chill. It's like, all right, this is cool. And then we just killed it. And if like I don't know, in 3 days we just did a million beats. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
But I think collaboration is a big thing. Also, like it's hard because you don't want someone to steal your lunch. Like if you want to be your own artist and you want to be your own person, but then also collaborating with someone, you're gonna learn stuff you never could have learned, ever. It's just impossible.
It's like getting a new perspective on what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how soon should you collaborate? Like, do you have to get good enough first?
I think you should know the tools what you're using. I mean, if you don't know how to use the program, then you're just saying stuff like, oh, can we make it brighter? Can we do this thing? Can we add a bass line? Like, you don't know how to do it. I think you have to be able to jump on and make something.
Yeah.
You have to know. You got to know what you're talking about.
At
It's
least
not
not what you're talking about. You have to know what, like, at least how to use the tools.
Right.
Like, how to tap out a beat.
How
Or
to
how
dr-
to like
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
You have to know some kind of part.
Yeah,
of
yeah. You at least gotta know how to use your tools.
Mm.
Yeah.
But from there, I think you should just make as much as possible. And like one of the things I want to do is like, that's my next company is one of the projects we're doing is facilitating giant, the question was, the new company starts with these questions. And the question is, how do you explode creativity inside a city or place? Explosion of it. Not like, oh, I released something and people are inspired by it. So one idea I'm working on is this mass collaboration where you get tons of artists in one place at one time and they all collaborate together just to have fun. It's like, instead of on Saturday night people going drinking or smoking or like watching football or doing whatever, what else? What else is there to do? And I think creative people love to experiment without a goal. What if there's no goal, there's no client, there's no anything, you just make stuff. And like that's some of the best stuff that ever comes out. So that's one of our new projects that we're working on.
You guys.
He's gonna be in it, but
Cool.
it's the new company.
Am I? Oh shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be in it. Yeah, but just like the idea of play, like the idea of like you don't have a goal, you're just making something to make it, and like there's no rules. Because a lot of things, like we work on a lot of stuff where it's for a client or it's for a specific thing. Where like, okay, like say we're making a beat for Yo MTV Raps, it has to be a certain way. It can't just be like, you can't just stop the beat for 6 minutes and then start it again and like put like fairy sounds and whatever. But if there was no goal, we could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is people, especially artists, need more open-ended play where there's no fucking goal. It's just like whatever you make is the right thing.
Yeah.
And
And
when
then-
that happens, it's usually the best things.
Yeah.
Like that's when you actually like learn. That's learning.
Yeah.
That's
I think you also mentioned earlier, right? People give up too easily, too soon.
Hell yeah.
Right, but how do you balance like making a living and also living your passion or creating art? You know, do you have to work 2 jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the sacrifice. Like anything good in life is not easy or else everybody would do it. You wanna be a painter? That's cool. But no one's gonna buy your paintings in the beginning. So you need another job to eat. But then if you keep working, someone's gonna buy your painting for 50 ringgit, and then 100 ringgit, and then 1,000 ringgit.
At some point, right?
Yeah. But people give up before the first 50 ringgit. They're like, oh, I can't make any money. It's like, you didn't even fucking try. And also, it's supposed to be hard. Or else everyone would be a painter.
Yeah.
Everyone sit home and paint all day. Like, shout out to all my painter friends, like, that make it because they're fucking gangsters.
Sophia Harun, right?
Yeah, Sophia's my homie, and she's like a gangster. Justin Lim, like a few of my other friends, that's their main job. And that is not easy.
Yeah.
And they went through a lot of shit, they did, to get to
Yeah.
that point of like, and also Bono, who painted all these things.
Bono,
up here.
yeah, Nawar Shukri.
Yeah, she painted all this
She
stuff.
did
She
this.
painted the
Wow,
piano
she was
too.
featured as well.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
my homie.
Cool.
And she painted all this stuff. And
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
But also, I was like, I'm gonna pay you to do this to trick out our studio. And she's like, okay. And like that, you need to have 2 jobs. You need to hustle, or else just you can give up. But know that you're gonna just work at someone else's shit the rest of your life.
Because if you're not working on your dream, you are technically working on someone else's dream.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can trick yourself like you're working, but not really though. Right. If you think about it. Yeah.
I mean, shit happens, and people have hard situations. Like, yo, your parents sick, you're whatever. You need to make real money, but then you can also steal away some time to work on your own stuff, and it might take 5 years instead of 1 year, but you still do it. I just think people give up because it's hard. Yo, but newsflash, everything good is hard.
Yeah.
Everything good is hard, or else everybody would be a rapper, or everyone would be everything.
And great things take time, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Put in the work and just. I guess you have to have faith in a way, or be smart about it. Do you think it's both, or not really?
It's both.
Does
Definitely.
luck?
Yeah.
Does luck play a part?
I don't believe in luck.
I do a little bit. You don't believe in any luck?
I mean, I believe in opportunities and like fate, but luck is. I mean, everything's written to me. It's just like whether you go by it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, luck is. I don't know. I that's just my point.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
luck for me is not like
Winning the lottery.
Yeah, like the opportunity can't, like, luck is not just like, oh, someone gave you this thing and now you're famous, or now you have a career. It's like I shot one party, and it happened to be these dudes that were gonna turn into a huge company in Malaysia. It was the first party, totally random. And then making a video is totally random, but the opportunity came. The luck was that I did it at that party. Not the luck was them asking me to do it, and I'd never done the next video, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let me do it. And that was just like confidence to just try it and experiment.
But don't you think that was fate?
Faded? I mean, I could have just said no, I don't do that, and then there would be no fate. Like, I think the thing about it is like I believe in this thing called serendipity, which is serendipity is like beautiful things happen, and then you can choose to do what you do with it. You know what I mean?
It's a little bit like controlled destiny. A little bit like that.
Yeah. That you're in control of your destiny.
Yeah.
And you have to make decisions to that destiny. Like, people always say about like love, like, oh, I just met this girl at this party, or I met this girl in the library, whatever, and then I was like, fell in love with her. No, you fucking didn't. Like, no, you didn't. You met her and she was cute and she was cool, but then you made 1,000 decisions to hang out with her and to do extra and make this thing. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be in love.
Yeah.
So like that's not love at first sight. It's a million tiny little decisions that you make. And the same thing with art. Like, you have these opportunities come up, and the more you work on it, the more you put yourself in the right place, like the more you're
being in the right place at the right time, right? You
and
gotta
just making more stuff. Like, the more stuff you make, the more experiments you have. Like it's if we collab on something, which we did, but like say we make a song coming up. Like, say we're supposed to work tonight, but we're both busy. But say we work on something, we put out some remixes of stuff. Someone's like, maybe the artist is like, yo, I like that remix. Can you guys make another remix for me? Totally random. That's not really what we're doing, is making remixes for people, but maybe we do. And then that leads to something else. But it's because we got together and did it and put it out. It's not because we told people we're going to remix some song. We just did it. Like, now the internet's so crazy. Like, I've been working on this Whitney Houston remix for a while, and I love it. It's fucking dope. It's my favorite shit that I've been working on. She's dead. She does not live alive anymore. But say, put it out, and then on social media people tag it, and then on her thing, like, someone who owns their estate or whatever, the record company's like, yo, they repost it. Like, RCA repost it. Like, 1 million people are gonna watch that thing and listen to it, or like Diplo repost it. Oh, you gotta hear this remix. All hell breaks loose, and that's a big change of thing, and that's just from effort. No one came to me. I went to them, and that's the
effort.
difference.
Effort is the key.
Yeah, and releasing, making stuff.
Keep on creating stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Speaking of business side of things, with creative, as a creative, like, when do you know, and when is the best time to charge someone, or when?
Interesting.
Yeah, and when do you think is the best time to, like, put a value or a raise in your art?
Yeah, I would like to know that too.
Okay, but yo, first off, right, you got to give away. It's like anything you got to give away for free, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, that's a good question. When does it stop being free?
Yeah.
Like, when do you just go help out your homies?
Yeah.
And then when do you actually start charging?
Yeah.
What's the answer? The answer is what? Is how big the song becomes, Or like, okay, what if it's like you have a track record, right?
Yeah.
So say you produce a beat for somebody.
Yeah.
That song becomes super popular.
Yeah.
So then the next one you do, you charge some for them. If you do it for them again.
Yeah.
Or no? What do you think?
If it was me,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, it's before they approach me, I'll ask them, why do you want to work with me? Because it's you could get any other producer to do it for you, but why would you want to work with me? Like it must be like you understand what I do. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. Where was it going with this?
It was like, okay, when do you stop being like friend price, which is free?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's a little different because I've been hustling for a long time and it's my job.
Yeah.
And like, if someone wants me to work on music for them, it's different.
Yeah.
But if someone wants me, like people all the time are like, hey, can you shoot our music video? Because we love making weird shit.
This is for kicks.
For kicks,
Okay.
yeah. But I'm also like, yo, we have a real company. Like, it's not just a friend. I can't give you a friend price. Like, we do for real shit. Like, you know, we work with like AirAsia, we really other people. So if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna do like some like side piece. So it's hard. I basically say no to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
I guess
Because
if
well, the only thing is like
Time.
and also don't fuck with my money.
Yeah.
Like it's a for real thing. Like don't like we make real money. So if I do your video, I have to say no to real money.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna give me 3,000 ringgit, it's not gonna happen. And that's just some real shit. If you wanna just come and have fun and play and experiment, then I'm cool with it. But the thing about video, as all video people know, you shoot it is one thing. Then the editing is crazy. Color, editing, like exporting, doing whatever, it takes fucking forever.
takes
Yeah.
a lot of hours,
It's
man.
insane, man. It's insane.
I guess anything with production though.
Yeah.
Like even with audio, you make it and then like you gotta mix it and you gotta master it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the same thing. So
I would just say like at some point after, okay, say you make a song for someone and they release it. The next time they come back to you, hey, let's make another song. Like you can be like, hey, I also gotta, like I think people have to be more honest. Artists gotta be more honest about making money. Because like, say like Bono helped paint, she painted this thing. I didn't say, hey, can you do it for free? I was like, how much can we pay you to do it? And then she was like, oh, this much money? And I was like, oh, how much this much? We negotiated a little bit, but I was like, okay, I want you to get paid too.
Yeah.
This is her job. So if someone's gonna make something, you can be like, hey, yo, this is my job. And how much, like, how about this much money?
Yeah.
And I think the big thing is people have to stop feeling weird about talking about money.
Yeah.
So what?
It's common courtesy.
If you say, hey, can you just give me $1,000 to work on this thing? Like, to produce this track.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that much money, but it's also, that's like kind of your rent.
Yeah.
And then you do that thing and you're much more excited to do it because you're getting paid. So I think that people have to stop feeling weird about talking about money, artists. Just say it. Even if it's your friends, they can just say no.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, I don't have that. It's like, all right, well, maybe you find someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Or like maybe we just do it for fun or whatever. But at least you have the conversation.
Yeah.
And they know the next time, the third time they come back, they have to come back with money.
Yeah.
You know? And you'd be surprised how fast people come up with money when they need to.
And then, okay, in your case, right, with people offering you money and all that, and when can you tell the difference whether you want to take up a project or not? If the money is equal, you know, the money is equal. Like, how do you accept a project mostly these days?
For the company?
Yeah.
Oh, well, for Kicks is a different beast. I mean, we've been hustling so long that we don't do little projects. We do huge things like campaigns, like whole 5 videos and like an installation and some other stuff. So it's a really different vibe. Like it's not friend price for AirAsia. I love you, AirAsia, but it's not friend price for them. And then, yeah, I think is it interesting to us? Like, do we actually get excited about the project? Like we have a few projects now that I'm really excited about doing. And we'll take less money because it's cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll accept less money. That's not the goal to accept less money, but if we do, we'll do
The
it.
project must be really interesting, yeah?
Yeah, and we have to flex on it. Like, is it something where people are going to be like, this is fucking fresh?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be interested in that. If it's another TVC, I'm not so interested.
We'll do it to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the money's right, then that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, like, I was going to talk about is like transitioning to a working artist, right? Like we just talked about this recently, like like, you're gonna do stuff you don't like. Just real shit. You're gonna do stuff you don't like to make money, and you have this idea when you go into being an artist of like a musician or a filmmaker or whatever, like I'm this purist, like I only make this stuff, I only use analog, I only do this other stuff. But that goes out the window when you need to eat.
Yeah.
Like you need to eat. Like you literally have no money, you need to eat.
Yeah.
How do you eat? So at some point, and also you go from that's like what I call like fake money is just eating money. And then there's real money, which is, okay, you save money, you can go on a trip. You save money, you can buy a new car.
Exactly.
Like that's real money. So like to get to that point, you also got to do some hard shit. And all your work can't just be TVCs and just Milo ads and stuff. But
Yeah, like exactly, like for the past 6 months, like I had a job. I mean, I recently like quit my job because like I'm starting off my new studio and stuff. But I was a sound designer for a children's book company.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, it was fun, but it was a job.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of have to like what you said.
Compromise,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta compromise. You gotta know. You gotta have a job that is for your sustainability. You gotta have that.
Yeah.
If not, then your life's just gonna be like all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even during that time, that's when we worked on the
Yeah,
MTV
yeah,
Raps. That's when we did
yeah.
the other stuff. He's also making other beats, doing other stuff for other
Yeah.
stuff. He didn't stop doing what he was
So
doing
always
before.
be doing other things, even you have
Hell
other
yeah.
responsibilities.
Stay on your hustle.
Yeah.
Cash flow.
Cash flow. You gotta stay conscious about these, or because like
Yeah.
it's easy to just sway.
Hell yeah. I mean, we could just do TBCs
Yeah.
kicks. We could do that and make more money than we're making. But I think everyone would quit eventually. Everyone in the company would quit because that's not what we really do. And also, I would just get bored. I would just not
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely.
Oh man.
There's a different. Also, I think it's different. Like if you don't have kids yet, like I don't have kids, he doesn't have kids. Like if you don't have kids, then it's a different kind of vibe. Like you can take more risks.
Yeah.
And that's the time to do it. Is to take more risks when you don't have a family. You know, when your parents aren't really old, you need to take care of them. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. If you guys weren't creatives, you're not musician, filmmaker, musician yourself, producer and whatnot, what would you be? You think? Doctor? A cook?
Damn. I don't know.
Damn, that's a really good one though.
I maybe be a teacher. Like
Yeah.
I think I could be a teacher, like a good like high school, middle school teacher. You know, like really avant-garde, weird, like everybody stand up, everybody sit down. Okay, like and like have some like weird. We all run outside for some point I'm trying to make or something.
Yeah.
Like I think I'd be into that. Like I think I do want to do that when
A
I'm
teacher.
older. As a teacher, yeah.
How about yourself, bro?
Sell weed.
There you go. Simple.
Okay. If you could have a cup of coffee with any dead musician,
Ooh,
they have to be dead, already died, past tense.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would it be, and what kind of conversation would you have with them over that cup of coffee?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like
What would you say? What would you ask him?
I would like, what do I ask? Many things. Like one question I would really like to ask him. But definitely Michael Jackson, because growing up, he was a big inspiration to me.
Yeah.
Like the way that he was somewhat like a rock star, but still like still so like, I wouldn't say innocent, but very like childish in his ways, like very like kid-like. Like how did he maintain that? Like if I'm pretty sure people judge him for that, like always being like with that like young spirit. Like yeah, how did he handle that as a person?
Yeah.
I think I'll ask him that.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be at that as well, but I think I could get another one. The thing I was thinking about Michael Jackson is cool is like, just to vibe on that, is that he's like a super pop star.
Yeah.
I mean, Lady Gaga has a similar idea where it's like they're so weird, but they just channel it into their thing.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson make a 15-minute long video with all this weird stuff, and like he's like a giant statue of himself, and like he's just so strange.
Yeah.
But then he channels it into his weird pop art, which I really like. I don't know. In terms of musicians, I don't know. I don't think I would I don't think I have a. I don't think I go with musician. I would definitely. I have a few like Da Vinci. Da Vinci is one of my like super inspirations.
Art
like
wise.
inventor.
Yeah.
Like I love inventors. Nikola Tesla is one of my heroes. Like just like gangster. Change the world. I think those two.
I like how you like no musicians.
Music is cool, but that's not what my brain thinks in music. Like I think I'd want to play music with some people for sure. Like I want to play with Jimi Hendrix. I want to play with like Michael Jackson. I want to play with these other people. But in terms of like talking, we want to talk to like an inventor.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where I actually give you guys like sort of like a break, but sort of flip the script in return, flipping the script, and let you have a chance to ask me any question. Yeah, Adli, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. Ask me any question, one or two questions that you guys have in mind.
Remix.
Yeah. Anything at all.
Okay.
Go for it, guys.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Besides this Hello Kopi Camilo stuff,
Yeah.
what's your future endeavors? Like
Future.
where you're heading in the next like 5 years?
Okay.
How do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself. I'm working on my craft in a sense where I am an actor. Yeah. So I want to be a better actor. I would see myself. This is dumb, but this is straight up dream, like a dreamer perspective, right?
Yeah.
I would see myself on Netflix for sure, like as an actor.
Show, like-
No, as an actor.
Yeah.
On a show. Yeah, on a film or something. And yeah, it is possible, and it will happen. Visualization.
Are you writing?
Mindset.
Law of
Are you
attraction.
writing stuff as well, or?
Not my forte. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, but we write our own stuff as well as a passion. Cool. We studied that, but it wouldn't be my forte. But in getting there, it's like I'm doing theater now, trying to do short films as well, trying to get into, but more of getting myself prepared for the moment, for the opportunity. For like you guys mentioned, luck, right? For that. Yeah, that opening. So I see myself as an actor, man. Hopefully.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like what movie, as an actor, what movie would you have wanted to be in the
What?
past? Like you watched a movie, you're like, I wish I was in this movie. Or TV show.
TV show.
Like what kind of vibe would it be?
Peaky Blinders.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that kind of vibe.
That's cool.
Imagine if you can see the settings, like probably Malaysian settings, gangster settings, but more towards like subtle gangster, not so much of like a bunuhan, like over the
so
top.
violent.
Yeah. Like not so spiritual, like more.
Not Chinatown gangster.
Yeah. So something in a new wave. I hope, man.
That's cool.
There's gonna be opportunities. There's gonna be a new and upcoming actors. Like how you see in the rap.
Yeah.
Like so all of a sudden everyone is rapping.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one phase in life where suddenly there's gonna be emerging actors all over,
Yeah.
and I see myself as one of them when the time comes.
That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna happen with Netflix also as they make more local content.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot more local shows as well.
With this Hello Kopi Camilo is like I like talking to people, man. If you think about it, when was the last time you had an uninterrupted conversation with someone, documented?
Oh, documented? Never.
Yeah. If you think about it.
I mean, we talk about stuff a lot. That's one of the things that I wanted ask to come as well. And this one was like, when we were hanging out making stuff, we just talked about shit forever. Also after it, like
there's more talking than
making stuff. Yeah. And then we're like, all right, let's go back to making stuff. And like that kind of idea. I think it's cool. I think like talking about art is interesting, and then because also it's really hard. Like we were saying before, like it's really tough. And like I have huge respect for anyone who is a working artist, and huge respect for anyone who has a company, like owns a fucking company. God damn, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. You guys don't have like staff at your company, but maybe you will eventually at the studio. You might though.
Yeah, but
you
like,
might.
Nah, like for now, I can't afford to pay.
No,
my
I'm
staff.
saying eventually,
Yeah,
2 years from now, whatever.
Yeah.
But like the difference of becoming like, oh, I'm good at editing, to I'm gonna teach someone else how I like to edit and get their vibe.
Yeah.
Mix that in. That's a totally different world.
Yeah.
And then making money and yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. And then also just that hustle. Like I appreciate anyone who's been hustling at something for many years because it's not easy.
To stick to something and just doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
By the way, I make killer coffee. By the way,
Yeah.
yeah. People don't usually say that. People are all humble about their own craft, right?
Nice.
But I'm telling you, I'm like, I make good coffee. Man.
Good.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
One day, if you
I
have
like
a
it.
chance, yeah. Who you like to see to be featured on this podcast, man? If you have all the power in the world to make a decision for me,
Oh, in Malaysia?
yeah, realistically, I guess.
Malaysia or Asia?
I don't know. Up to you, man. Be creative about it. Like I don't know, like
Yo, you
Anyone.
should really interview this guy called Fox. He's from Singapore.
Fox is cool.
I've heard of him though. He's the one who mixed and mastered Alice.
Yo, he produced for Bagel. The
whole
Wow.
album, right,
Yeah.
right.
Nice.
He is a person that I'm going through this second phase of. I came from a very like electronic background music. He came from a very like band but he also produced experimental music, like electronic music. But me and him, when we've never like we did like recently, but the first few times we hung out, we didn't even make music. We just talked about shit for like and I'm pretty sure you have a great conversation with
Yeah.
him.
Awesome.
He has that guru vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like
Guru.
guru vibe.
Fox. Shout out to Fox.
Yeah, definitely. Check him out.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of creative people. I think. I'm trying to think about on Yo. Also, Yo MTV Raps, we had 1,000 people. Like, there's 1,000 rappers and other people on it. I would say, I mean, shit. Everyone who was featured on it was really cool. I think the female rapper Suboi was really dope.
Subo is dope.
And then she's just also like a thinker, like a weirdo. She's super weird. Shout out. And so if you get her on, she's really cool. I think Adam, who is Yuna's husband.
Adam.
Yeah. He is the director, and he actually flipped from. He was working at Reservoir Films for a long time, and then he flipped to his own thing. And then he's been doing all her stuff and just killing it and doing his own stuff. It's really cool. I think he would be a good one. Just talk about like art and business and like creation. It's really cool. And then I think you should have some young nuggets who just started doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people who are just excited about making stuff.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But I think also this having multiple people is cool.
Do you feel like time only revolves around when you're in your 20s? Like time is running out.
Life starts after 20.
Yeah.
20
Well, you
is
guys
like,
are wise
because-
guys.
I mean, it's just like also 20s, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you literally are like, you're all trying this, trying that. And also you're not really good at anything. I mean, real shit. Like you're just not good. You're excited, but you're not really good at what you want to do. So it takes that all of the 20s to do it. And then to get your hustle down, to start making money, to start doing this thing.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Like, I'm excited to be 30, but I'm also like, shit, I'm getting old. But it's just
Transition.
It's just the transition, but like, I feel like the real life starts for me, lah, at least. Yeah.
Remain a good person, like through all that.
Yeah. Remain, yeah.
Because you can be good at.
And be Kanye.
There you go. Yeah. Because you can be good at stuff, but then if you're an asshole, it's really.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Being humble is important, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And good to people, and like try to be good to people. Like you won't always be good to people, but at least that's your goal.
Yeah.
Because if your goal is just to be as famous as possible or as make the best stuff, then you can just shit on everyone and then burn every bridge and make stuff. But it's not really how you want to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, one last advice to the listeners out there who want to get started. Perhaps they have different endeavors, right? They want a job at Kicks, for example, or they want to create something meaningful. They want to be remembered. They want to start something new. They want to like convince their parents that they want to make music. They want to like a lot of things that they want to, but they are not there yet. what one last or two, three pieces of advice that you have for the listeners out there who have looked up to you from afar for a long time? You never know, man. Your followers, like, out of nowhere, right? There's a kid from, Indonesia. There's a kid from Sabah, wherever, right? Who's looking up to you right now. What would you say to them? What would be the last punch, dose of inspiration, that crack that you pass around to them? Yeah.
I guess just do it and do your best. Like, don't overthink too much, because that's always a killer. If you kind of like, oh, what if, just start. Everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah. And in terms of like making stuff, the stuff you make in the beginning is not going to be as good as what you hear in your head. You're going to, from your head, you're so excited, and then what you make out of your fingertips is not that good. And that's why people give up, because it's not that good. Like the first 5 films you make, not going to be good. The first 5 songs you make, not going to be good. They're just not. There's no way around it.
No one starts off as a pro.
0 people. 0%.
0%. No one starts.
No one's first song is ever good.
No.
It's just, that's how it goes. No one's first video is ever good.
Yeah.
But like, once you get over that hump and like keep making stuff. So like my thing would be experiment, make tons of experiments, collaborate with people and make experiments. And don't try to make anything good at first. Yeah. Just experiment and learn how to do it and have fun with it.
Never stop learning.
Yeah.
Never stop learning. That's one of the keys.
Yeah.
No matter if you feel like you've reached like your highest peak, never stop learning, because that will be the end of your creativity if you never stop learning. Yeah.
And make more experiments all the time.
Yeah.
Like on the weekend, instead of just going and chilling with your friends and doing nothing, be like, yo, we should make a movie.
Yeah.
Let's make a 2-minute movie. And they're like, really? And you're like, yeah. Okay, let's try. Doesn't matter. We don't need a script. Let's just do it and experiment and try it. Yeah. Or like, let's just make this weird video. Let's make this weird thing. Like a lot of times I see people, like that's one thing I'll say is like, people have told me before I came here in Malaysia, and this is some real shit, that Malaysians are lazy. They just be like, yo, Malaysians are lazy.
Especially Malay people.
That's what people say, and that's what people say here also. And that's not what I think. I actually think it's that people in Malaysia give up. They have ideas. I've heard the most amazing ideas from people, then they don't do them. Ideas for restaurants, ideas for songs, for movies, they just don't write the script. They don't make the thing. They don't do it. And there's reasons why people don't do things, but a lot of times I see people just give up on their ideas. And that level of hustle is like, yo, if you have a good idea, and you think it's good, it is good. Keep pushing through and make it work. Like nothing's gonna be easy, but if you have a good idea, keep trying it, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. Pot of gold, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you for being part of Hello Kopi Milo podcast.
Yeah.
You guys are legends. These are documented and will forever be discovered by the new generations and the generations after that.
Youngins.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yo, man.
All right.
This is like a...
Thanks, man.
Guys, one question though. Coffee or Milo, man?
Coffee all the way, homie.
Kopi,
I need the Kopi. I need it.
Milo is filled with sugar.
Milo podcast. Milo Fico signing out. Alright, thank you so much. Shout out to our boy Adli, who's been helping.
Adli.
Oh, that was cool, man. That was like the longest conversation I had uninterrupted.
Of all time. Yeah, exactly.